Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, we're going to be talking about 10 things that would suck if Grand Theft Auto Online was realistic. So these are obviously very hypothetical scenarios. None of these are ever going to come true, but it is fun to look at, like, what if Rockstar made Grand Theft Auto Online super realistic and we had to play by these really strict rules? How would it turn out? And that's what we're going to be discussing in this video today. So as always, if you guys want to leave your own things in the comments section down below, I'd love to hear from you guys down there. But with out of the way, let's not waste any more time and let's get it started. All right, at the number one spot, I'm sure this is something we can all relate to, having to charge your phone. So I have one of the newer iPhones and my phone dies like instantly. Maybe it's because I'm using it like a bunch, or maybe there's some conspiracy going on. I don't know. But my phone dies all the time. However, in Grand Theft Auto Online, our phones are always 100% charged. What if you had to charge your phone just like you did in real life? So in a lot of the apartments, there's like these phone docking stations that are used for the radios. What say your phone died? You couldn't use any of the features on your phone. You couldn't call the mechanic. You couldn't call Moore's Mutual until you put it on the charger and got it 100% charged. And what if it took realistic time, like 30 or 45 minutes or an hour, to get it charged again for you to use it? That would be so awkward to be running around Grand Theft Auto Online with no phone. It would just feel really weird not being able to call anyone, receive calls, or do anything. All right, number two would be following traffic laws / obeying the rules of the road. So have you ever been so bored in Grand Theft Auto Online that you've actually done this? It is hard to do consistently for a long time just because it doesn't make sense. You're in a world where rules don't apply to you, stopping at traffic lights, going under the speed limit, letting pedestrians cross the road without running them over. I mean, it's really tough to do. And imagine if you had to do this, otherwise you would get normal traffic tickets, like from the cops. So for example, if you ran a red light and the cops saw that, they would get like a 1-star wanted level and they'd try and pull you over. Or you would get like a fine that would automatically be deducted from your in-game bank account. I could see Rockstar doing that as well. So I'm really glad that we don't have to follow the simple traffic laws that apply to the other NPCs of the game, even though they choose to not obey them on occasion as well, and traffic laws that would make sense commonly for real life also. Okay, the number 3 spot, having to take care of our characters. I'm talking about getting rest, drinking liquids, eating food. So we have all of that in the world in Grand Theft Auto Online. We have the ability to lie down in our apartment beds. We have vending machines and stores in which we can get food and beverage from. What if we had to do that like it was an RPG? What if your character needed, 4 to 6 hours of sleep per night? Now that would sort of be an easy way to get around that. You just put your character to sleep when you go to sleep. But I still think that would be so weird. Like, what if you forgot one night and you logged in and your character was just a dehydrated zombie that didn't have the ability to do anything, and then you had to put them to sleep, let them rest, let them get well? Sort of like an RPG. I feel like that would be a very interesting element to the game, even though all the things Rockstar need to actually implement that are there, which is kind of crazy. The number 4 spot today, realistic weapon carrying. So as it stands right now, our Grand Theft Auto Online characters are a walking arsenal. They have RPGs and miniguns and snipers and assault rifles and pistols and submachine guns. What if you could only carry what a realistic human could carry? Maybe a pistol and a rifle. Or if you only wanted to carry an RPG and sticky bombs, that's all you could carry. I think that would be very interesting. And the only way to access more of those weapons, or to have more of them on you at a time, would be able to maybe store them in a car or a gun van or something like that. We've seen Rockstar do features like that in the past, but they've never limited what you could physically carry on your character. You've always been these walking arsenals that could just pull out weapons out of their pockets at really any time, which I think is kind of funny when you think about it. It's like, hey, let me just pull this RPG out of my back pocket, let me use it. So I definitely think that would be kind of funny. So I know some games work like this, but at the number 5 spot, if you die, that's it. So if you were to die in Los Santos, you would have to complete a completely new character. which would obviously be a huge pain, or you'd have to start from scratch. I mean, honestly, this would probably be the hardest challenge of them all. In order to like successfully build up a character, you would literally have to live in like a bubble. You would never go outside your apartment. You would always play in passive mode. If that was even a thing, like that's another thing to consider. Would there even be passive mode? Because that obviously doesn't really exist in real life. So no passive mode would mean that you would always have to be looking over your shoulder for like a supercar to come running you down or something like that. So if you died, that would be it. And you would have to completely restart and redo your character from scratch. That would be insane. I've seen other games do that. I'm not sure how well that would work in online just because there's so many random things that could kill you. But that would definitely be one of the more interesting realistic quirks of this game. At the number 6 spot, vehicles needing gas. So there's gas stations all throughout the world in Los Santos and Blaine County, so the problem wouldn't be that, but it would be the problem of remembering to fill up your cars. Imagine you're doing a heist mission or a vehicle importing and exporting mission, and you're driving down the highway, and then all of a sudden your car just starts puttering out. It's because you're out of fuel. And then that would actually be cool if Rockstar implemented sort of tow trucks into the game so that we could tow our vehicles to the gas stations in order to fill them up. So I actually kind of like this feature, and with different cars, there could be different types of gasoline that you use. For example, if you're using like a big rig, maybe you would need diesel. If you're using a supercar, you would need really premium petrol. If you're using a normal car, regular unleaded would work. So I actually think that's kind of awesome, but I think it would be annoying after a while to consistently fill up your cars. And it might put a premium on some of the newer vehicles that Rockstar have added, like the Tesla Model 3 and the Coil Cyclone, those electric vehicles. But what if you had to plug those in? What if you had to bring them into your garage? Otherwise, they would run out of battery. That would be cool as well. Again, another realistic feature that Rockstar could introduce. At the number 7 spot, if you commit a serious crime, cops aren't just going to stop looking for you. So just like in real life, if you commit like a bank robbery or something like that, you're not just going to like wait 5 minutes and the cops are going to say, oh, he got away, we're never going to find him. No, they're going to like search for you for months and months. And wouldn't that be crazy if you commit like a really serious crime to get a 5-star wanted level? They're looking for you for like a week. And that's something you constantly have to deal with. It would definitely make committing crimes way more serious and something you would have to think about before actually doing. But that would be a very interesting dynamic to the game, to consistently have cops on you no matter what. I feel like that would just be so crazy, so insane, that it would make people be way less aggressive because they wouldn't want to get those 5-star wanted levels on them because they know they would have a near impossible time surviving and getting rid of them, which would be pretty crazy. The number 8 spot today, realistic time and money for vehicle repairs. So let's say you buy an adder, which is $1 million. And let's say that you completely tear off one of the doors, you end up breaking the windscreen, you wreck the bumper. What if you took it to the Los Santos custom shop and instead of it saying, $1,000, it said $100,000. You wrecked 10% of this car, you have to pay $100,000. And then the mechanic says, okay, it'll be available in a month because that's how long it's going to take to repair the damages you've done. And then you didn't have access to your vehicle for a month and it took $100,000 out of your bank account. That would be insane. This would prevent people from driving super recklessly, but that's how it is in real life. You can't launch supercars off of jumps, and you can't expect to go to the mechanic, click one button, have it cost $1,000, and you're back on the road doing the exact same thing over and over and over again. So that would be crazy if you lost access to your vehicles, and if it cost you a realistic percentage of what you actually paid for the vehicle. Building off of that, at the number 9 spot, realistic hospital times and hospital fees. So right now, when you die, there really isn't any fee for dying. You just sort of respawn. I think it might be like $500 is what you actually have to pay. What if you got into a serious car crash or someone blew you up with an RPG and you had to pay $250,000 to the hospital and you had to stay there for a whole day for them to repair you? That would be insane. You would just say, well, I guess I'm done for the day. Time to go do something else. Obviously, Rockstar would never implement a feature like that, but that's how it is realistically. Now, I'm not sure if people getting shot with RPGs spend a day in the hospital and then go away, but, that's exactly what I'm kind of talking about. Your injuries would line up with what you paid at the hospital and for how long you ended up staying there, too. And at the number 10 spot today, the final thing we're going to be talking about is car accidents. So if you got into an accident in your car, you'd have to do what real people do. You have to call the police, you have to call insurance, you have to spend an hour or two figuring out what's going on. You have to take photos of the crime scene, of the crash area, to figure out who is going to be at fault and who is going to be paying the insurance fees. That would be the biggest hassle of all time. Just like how real life car crashes and car accidents are such a huge hassle as well. No one wants to deal with them because of how long they take and how much headache there is involved. And what if that process was passed on to our characters and online? I mean, it might improve driver safety. People might become better drivers if they want to avoid accidents and having to deal with stuff like that. But anyways, that right there is 10 things that would absolutely suck if Grand Theft Auto Online was realistic. As always, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. What are some things that you think would suck if GTA Online was realistic? I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.